Doke. Hi, Allison. Uh,
Hi.
all right, everyone. So we're going to make ourselves comfortable. We're going to come down to our back so we can start with our centering. So let's get out any of those wiggles or adjustments that we need to make. Now let's take a nice big belly filling breath in and bring that breath all the way down into the pelvis, into the hips. Nice and slow, exhaling it out. Good. We're going to repeat that breath at our own pace 2 more times, just remembering to bring that breath all the way down into the pelvis and into the hips, and taking our time with our inhales and our exhales. Allow your body to melt further into the mat, allowing your ankles to roll out, allowing your hips to sink, allowing your shoulders to roll open, allowing your fingers to curl, and a softness to come over your face. And as you bring that softness to your face, you may find that your lips part. Just allowing everything to become soft and maintaining a relaxed but focused attention with our breath. We'll bring our feet into our reclined cobbler. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to become heavy. So tuning in with the hips and the knees just to make sure that you're not holding on with any muscles or ligaments, just allowing everything to become heavy. We're going to bring one hand to our tummy or to our belly button area, and another hand to our heart center. As we take our inhales and exhales, we'll visualize and pull our breath or our pranayama up the front of our forehead, around the crown of our head, and all the way down into our pelvis, hips, and tailbone. And then nice and slow, we're going to exhale that breath out. Coming back up the spine, around the crown of the head, and out the nose. Let's repeat that breath through the nose, forehead, around the crown of the head, all the way down the spine into the tummy, the hips, the pelvis, and the tailbone. Holding the breath there for a moment. And then slowly exhaling it out. Keep this breath one more time at your own pace. We'll reach our arms over our head, interlacing our fingers, just allowing the hands to come heavy down to the ground. We'll bring a gentle pulse to the knees like the wings of a butterfly. Coming to stillness, we're going to reach our legs the full length of the mat, pointing or reaching through the toes, and then we're going to turn the palms of the hand to the back of the room, reaching through big stretch. I always like to call this the Sunday morning stretch. And soften. We'll bring our heels to the bottom left corner of the mat and our hands up to the top left corner of the mat. So creating that half moon, lengthening through the right side of the body. And try pulling your breath into the right side of your ribs. And then we'll bring our feet down to the opposite corner, bringing our hands up to that top right corner. Lengthening through the left side and bringing our breath into the left rib. Couple more breaths. We'll come to center, keeping our fingers interlaced. We'll bring our knees to our chest and then bring our hands around our knees. If you need to separate the hands, you can to hold on to the knees. We'll slide into our happy baby, reaching for the big toes or the ankles and allowing our spine to fully lengthen on the mat. For those of you that want a little bit of an extra stretch, you can push through the heels, straightening out through the legs. Leave a little softness in the knees. Getting nice and long through those calves, those hamstrings. Releasing our toes, we're going to bring our feet towards the ceiling, legs towards one another. Arms can come out into T position. We'll just roll out our ankles here. So you can point and flex or make circles, whatever feels good. Releasing our feet down to the mat. We'll bring our arms down to our sides, heels towards our bottom, pushing our pelvis up to the sky, coming into our bridge pose. Pulling the belly button into the spine, engaging the glutes. Couple more breaths here. Nice and slow, come down one vertebrae at a time. We'll bring our knees to our chest. Hands come behind the knees. We're going to rock from front to back. And you can get some momentum, just play with that rocking back and forth. And then we'll come up into seated. Coming into our easy pose or cross leg. Good. Let's bring that right hand over to the left knee. We have nice, long, tall spines. We're pushing through the crown of the head. Left hand comes behind us. Big breath in. Exhale. Turning our gaze over the left shoulder. And then if you want, coming further into a twist. You can use that left knee as some leverage. Nice big inhale in. Exhale, transitioning all the way over to the other side. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind us. Still nice, long, tall spines. And bringing that gaze over the right side. Big breath in. Exhale to center. You can have your hands on your knees. Nice long spine. Feel where your sit bones are. We have a tendency to lean forward because we're in chairs or over computers a lot. So you actually want to come back, feel those sit bones. You might have to find them, but they're there. And then we're going to drop the chin down to the chest. So nice long spine. Roll the left ear over to the left shoulder, allowing that head to be heavy. All right, now nice and slow. Let's drop that chin down. We're going to come over to the right side. And again, allowing that head to become heavy. Roll the chin down, bringing our head to neutral. We're going to kind of bring our arms into our eagle arms. So bring them straight out in front of us. Our right elbow will come into the left. We're going to put a bend into those elbows. Now you can go back to back with your hands, or if it's comfortable, interlacing our hands. We're going to try and bring those elbows up to shoulder height, keeping that long spine. And if it's comfortable, we're going to gently lift our elbows a little higher, sending our fingertips a little closer to the ceiling. Lower the elbows back to shoulder height. And again, if it's comfortable, we'll send those fingers and elbows up closer towards the ceiling. Lower the elbows. Let's release the arms. We're going to give a roll out to the shoulders, front to back, back to front. Good. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time, right into left. Put a bend into the elbows, hands back to back, or you can interlace your fingers. Really trying to get those elbows up to shoulder height. Still on those sit bones. And if it's comfortable, we're going to lift those elbows up a little bit higher. And lower. One more time. Lift a little higher. And lower. And release. Let's roll out those shoulders and arms again. Good. We'll come over to our tabletop. We're going to curl those toes under. Shoulders stacked over top of wrists. Hips over top of knees. All right, let's pull the belly button into the spine. You're going to hold the belly button there. Inhale, dipping into your cow. Exhale to your cat. Keep that belly button pulled in. I know it's easier said than done. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale to your cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to your tabletop. We're going to sit back onto our heels. We're just getting the arches of our feet and our toes a stretch. Okay. We're going to take the right hand and bring it over the right shoulder. The left hand's going to encourage that right elbow back. All right, then we'll take that left hand, reaching it underneath. And your fingers may or may not touch. That's okay. We're not worried if they do or don't. And release. Left hand over the left shoulder. Right hand's going to encourage that left elbow back. And right hand reaches underneath. We find one side is a lot easier, a lot more open than the other. And release. Let's roll those shoulders one more time, front to back, back to front. Good. Come back to our tabletop. We're going to take our right foot, stepping it forward and putting it into a 45-degree angle. And then we'll take that knee and bring it over top of the ankle. So we're going to get nice and long into that left hip. Hands come into the inside of the right foot. Okay, if you don't feel like you're getting enough stretch through that left hip, you can sneak those right toes up a little bit further and bring that right knee over top of the ankle. Good. So listening to our bodies. Breathing into those spaces that you feel lengthening. If your left toes aren't already curled under, curl them under now. We're going to start sending our bottom back towards that left heel. Good. And we're going to pull back on the right toes. So for those of you with those tight calves, you're probably really going to feel that through that right calf. Let's bring that right knee back over top of the right ankle, hands back to the inside of the right foot, right leg returns back to the left. Good. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Step that left foot forward, putting that 45-degree angle, and then we're going to bring that left knee over top of the ankle. Hands are to the inside of the left foot. Using your breath to open up those muscles, to open up those joints. All right. Now curl those right toes under if they aren't already. We're going to start sending our bottom back towards that right heel. And then we're going to pull those left toes back towards our torso. Left knee over top of that left ankle, hands back to the inside of the left foot. Left leg's going to join the right. We're going to keep those hands a little forward facing and push up into our first down dog. Let's take our dog for a walk. Good. Let's just see how our alignment was on this. So we're going to slide those shoulders over top of the wrist coming into plank to see if we need to make any adjustments. And back to our down dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Let's reach through those right toes. You should feel your left leg lengthening. For those of you that want to come into your flip dog, you can put a bend into that right knee and bring that right foot over the left side. Good. Let's all come back to our right leg, three-legged dog. Release that right foot back down to the mat. Left leg, three-legged dog. Feel that lengthening coming through the right side. Now let's put a bend, or for those of you that want to come into your flip dog, put a bend into the left knee, coming over into your flip dog. So left foot stepping over the right. Nice. And coming back to our left leg, three-legged dog. Let's step that left foot down, rolling forward into our plank, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Good. Let's walk those feet up towards our thumbs. We're going to bring them to the width of the mat. Reaching for our elbows, coming into our rag doll. Allowing the arms and the head to be heavy. A little bit of softness still in those knees. Couple more breaths here. We're going to allow our hands to become heavy, releasing the elbows. We're going to inhale them up towards the sky as we sit back into our chair pose. Exhale that breath out. Hands to heart center, and we'll come down into our squat. Elbows to the inside of the knees. Pushing through the crown of the head, creating that nice long spine. Hands come down to the mat. We're going to push our bottom back up to the sky as we come back into our ragdoll. This time we're going to leave the arms heavy. Keep the knees soft. We'll take the top of the left hand, bring it down to the mat, and we're going to put the left foot on top of the right hand. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Good. Releasing our hands. We're going to reach them up to the sky as we come back into our wide leg chair pose. Hands to heart center. Let's lower back down into our squat. Pushing through the crown of the head, nice long spines. Hands come back down to the mat. Let's push our bottom back up to the sky. Good. We're going to wiggle our feet underneath our hips, so our feet are hip width apart. We'll take our left foot and step it back slightly, approximately about a foot, foot and a half. So we're coming into those Egyptian legs that we've used before. Hands are going to reach for one another behind our backs. You can leave the hands on your lower back, or you can lift them slightly off your back. Be mindful of your shoulders. Your hands are off your back. Allow them to come to your lower spine. And then we're going to release those hands down towards the mat. And then we're going to use them to pull us up to standing. Big breath in. Exhale, fold. Left foot comes back up beside the right. Let's step the right foot back. Toes are facing forward. So you should really be feeling this in your calves and in your hamstrings. This time our hands will come behind our back into a fist bump. Thinking about wide, proud shoulders. And now release those hands down towards the mat. Use them to pull us up into standing. Big breath in. Exhale the right foot to the left. Hands come to heart center. Good. Beautiful transitioning, everyone. Good job. All right, let's give those ankles a little bit of a roll out. And let's just see where our balance is in our feet today. It changes. Let's just feel it out. We'll start by taking that right foot to the left calf, seeing where our stability is today. Shoulders away from the ears, hands to heart center. And you can even move around a little bit on that left foot if you want. See where you're at today. See where that balance is. And if you really want to test yourself, as long as there's nothing that you can fall into around you, you can try by closing your eyes. That one's a lot harder. Good. All right, let's release that right foot back down to the mat. We're going to bring the left foot over to the right calf again, hands to heart center. You can wiggle around on that right foot. You can even try closing your eyes. It's amazing when we take one of our senses away, how much harder tree pose can become. Good. Beautiful. Release the left foot. We're going to come up to the top of the mat. Feet are hip width apart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Step back, down dog. Roll forward into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Let's hop or step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Left foot to right calf. Pushing through the crown of the head. Pull the belly button in. Shoulders away from the ears. Let's take a breath in. Exhale it out. Slow and steady, we're going to step that left foot back into our warrior one. Hips are forward facing. Let's reach our arms up to the sky. Right knee stacked over top of the right ankle. Big breath in. Exhale, rotate to your warrior two. Big breath in. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale to warrior one. Let's bring those hands to heart center. We're going to shift our weight into that right front leg. And we'll come into our warrior three. You can keep the left toe on the ground if you like. We're going to transition back into tree, reaching our hands up to the sky. Hands to heart center. Release the left foot. Beautiful transitioning. Very nice. All right. Let's give that right leg a little shake out or a little wiggle out. There's a lot of balancing on one side. All right. Right foot to left calf. Nice long spines. Hands to heart center. Spine or balance or drishti. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Slow and steady. Take that right foot back, coming into your warrior one, reaching the arms up to the sky. Left knee stacked over left ankle. Beautiful. Big breath in. Exhale, rotate to our warrior two. Big breath in. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, warrior one. Good. We're going to transition that weight to our front left leg. Let's bring our hands to heart center. So we come into our warrior three. You can have those right toes supporting you on the mat if you need to. We'll reach our hands up to the sky as we transition the right foot back into tree. Hands to heart center. Release the right foot into mountain. Good job. Let's roll that left foot out. Get a little shake if we need. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Let's hang out here for a breath. Step back, down dog. Good. We're going to bring our knees to the width of the mat as we come into a passive child's pose. Bottom comes towards the heels. We're going to start with our gaze in one direction on the mat, allowing everything to become heavy and to melt. A nice slow long inhale in. As you exhale, turn your gaze in the opposite direction. We're going to try something a little different. We're going to stay in our child's pose, but this time we're going to come down onto our forehead. As we're there in our forehead, I want you to think about how your body moves in cat and cow. So as you're taking your inhales, try dipping your belly and your hips slowly towards the mat. And as you exhale, slowly push your spine up towards the ceiling. It's only going to be small movements because you're in your child's pose. We'll flow through our breath here for approximately 4 or 5 breaths. Right, we're going to curl those toes under and push back into our down dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. We're going to bring that right leg forward for our pigeon. And reaching through those left toes. And you can come down to your forearms or your forehead, whatever's most comfortable. Thinking about keeping our hips squared off with the top of our mat. So it might mean you don't get down as far as you can, but that's okay. Just keeping those hips. So just noticing if you're rolling into your right cheek or your left hip, just trying to square them off. Keeping your awareness on your inhales and your exhales. We're going to stay here for a few more breaths. And we'll gently lift our torso, bringing our hands underneath our shoulders. Keeping those shoulders away from the ears, we're just going to put a bend into that left knee. Hips still squared off at the top of the mat. Let's take a couple nice, slow, long inhales and exhales here. Releasing the left foot down to the ground, curling those left toes under. Push back, down dog. Let's take that dog for a little walk. Coming to stillness, left leg, three-legged dog. And we'll bring that left leg forward for pigeon. So again, we're really thinking more about squaring off the hips with the top of the mat. It's not about how far down we can get. So just notice if you're rolling into that left cheek or the right hip. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. Couple more breaths. Nice and slow, we'll bring those hands underneath the shoulders. Bring the torso up, shoulders away from the ears. The bend into the right knee. We'll take a couple slow, long inhales and exhales here. Releasing the right foot down to the mat. We're going to roll into that left cheek, bringing our legs out in front of us, coming into staff pose. Hands come down to our sides. Good. Big breath in. Inhale those arms up to the sky. Exhale, reach for the ankles or toes. You can bring a curve to the spine. Inhale back up to center. As we exhale, we'll bring our feet into our cobbler. So we're going to get those knees nice and low. Bring our hands to our feet, nice long spine. Good. And here we can drop our chin down. We can roll our ear, left ear over to the left side or right ear over to the right side. And go from side to side. Good. Coming to stillness, big breath in. Exhale from the hips, long spine. We're going to hinge forward. Still trying to keep that spine nice and long. Opening up in the hip and the groin. Big breath in. Exhale to center. Right, we're going to come down to our backs as we get ready for our Shavasana. So if you need any sweaters or pillows or any of that kind of stuff. And when I say pillows, just for underneath the knees, not behind the head. Making any adjustments we need to get fully comfortable. Let's tune back into that breath. Everything to melt, to sink. Staying in stillness. Gently bring your awareness to your breath. Rise and fall your rib cage, your shoulders, your tummy. Bring gentle movements back to your fingers and your toes. Take a nice, long, slow inhale in. And as we exhale, we'll come over to our right side. And as we come over to our right side, bring your awareness to your heart center. And think about the first positive word that comes to mind. Love, happiness, joy, fulfillment, whatever it is. And as you think of that word, realize that that word is about you. You are joy, you are love, you are happiness, whatever that word may be. And allow that feeling to reach all the way down to the tips of your toes, to your fingertips, to the crown of your head. And bring a smile to your lips and genuinely put it there. And let's take a nice, slow, long inhale in. Exhale it out. We'll push ourselves up into seated. And once we're up to seated, we'll bring our hands to heart center, giving ourselves thanks for making time for ourselves and our practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.